live chat on. Okay. So what's going on, Michael? We got one person on here. We had a really excellent week this week. Let me see. There we go. Now I got it going. And get the live chat up. There we go. All right. Yeah, we had an excellent week this week as far as views and stuff like that. And we had a lot of good content out. I didn't put any content out today. I took a break today. See if we can get some more people on here. So what's going on, Michael? What's going on this week with you? We should get some more people on here. Hopefully it's showing that I'm on. But who else we got on here? We got somebody else that just, okay, now they're starting to click up. There we go. That's good. Who else we got on here? I know we're supposed to have Mindanao on here tonight and a lot of other people. Let's see, here we go. 11 people on. Travel Discovery's on board. There we go. If you guys haven't heard of Travel Discovery yet, it's a awesome YouTube channel about the world. It also has a lot of stuff on there about the Philippines and stuff too. Let's see. Michael also says, knee deep in Excel working on reports. That sounds like fun. Let's see. Winston Herring says, I'm here, Steve. Okay. good evening. Who else is on here? We got 18 people so far. Tomorrow we got a good, I think we got a good subject out tomorrow. We usually don't talk too much about dating and girls and stuff, but tomorrow we're probably going to pick up that subject just a little bit. So I think it's an important subject to cover a little bit. We don't cover that too much, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I want to cover that tomorrow anyway. We'll see what happens. See, thumbs up, Darren Dobson, Paycheck, good morning from Georgia. Mark, greetings from Australia. Darren Dobson, hello from Toronto, Canada. You guys can shoot questions whenever you want. We'll start getting the questions. We're up to 21 and 6 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Hello from Toronto, Canada. Another Canadian. We got a lot of Canadians here lately. I think we're up to 4 Canadians so far. 2 live in the group, actually. Let's see, Darren Dobson. Actually, 3 live in. Now I think 3 live in the group. Darren Dobson, I will be visiting the Philippines in January. There you go. Francisco Fletes is on board. We actually met with Francisco this week. We met at Denny's with Sinfuls. Darren Dobson says, can I do charity work without a license? If you do charity work here, you have to have some sort of, I believe you have to have register. You have to register as a nonprofit organization here. I don't believe that you can work for a charity here just because you want to work for a charity. I know there's laws on it. I heard that there was some people that were getting in trouble because they were doing, if you're doing any sort of work, you can't come here on a tourist visa, okay? You have to come over here on like a mission visa or some missionary visa or something like that. I'm not sure what type of visa it is. Where am I located, Darren says? I'm actually located about 20 miles south of Manila. I am in Tracy Martirez City. Mark Richards says, good morning, Steve. Mark from Michigan. There we go. Got a guy from Michigan here. Mike, married to a beautiful woman. There we go. Good morning from Ottawa, Canada. Another Canadian. Got a lot of Canadians on here lately. That's pretty cool. See, Darren Dobson says, hi, Mike. Let's see. We're up to 30 with 10 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Michael L. says, Darren, beware one inquisitioners if you do any charity work in the Philippines. You're going to get a lot of people here that get jealous of stuff like that. So be careful of it. And don't tell too many people, you know. Let's see. Mike, married to a beautiful woman, says, hi, Mark and Darren. Mark Richards is happy about the 8.7 COLA. That was awesome news for a lot of us. I was really happy about that the other day when I heard that, because that's good news for all guys here that are on either Social Security or on VA disability or both. Let's see. Travel Discovery, no license needed for electric scooter. No, but that's supposed to change soon. Supposedly, but as of now, yes, there's no license needed for electric scooter. Francisco Fletes says, any luck paying Meralco bill with foreign credit card online? I always get the online payment decline, and then you better off just go pay it in person. And usually you can pay your Meralco bills, I believe, at the mall. Honey, you can pay your Meralco bills at SM. Okay, there's usually a place that you can go pay it there, and it just makes life easier. Let's see, then pay it in person and buy it center or save more bill. Yeah, SM will take it too. Okay, Mark Richards says, hi, Mike, darling. Okay, let's see. We're up to 29 people, 11 thumbs up. Let's get some questions, good questions going on here. But yeah, that cola was phenomenal, and with the way things are right now, with the like 59 or 60 to one exchange rate, that's going to be phenomenal if it's still going on. I believe we're supposed to go to 63 to 67 here pretty soon. So that's the rumor on the streets anyway, as far as the exchange rates. And I read a lot of articles about that. Let's see, Mark Richard, Joke Lang. Okay. Michael L. Philippine utilities often use payment processes that do not support foreign credit cards. Yes. Sometimes foreign credit cards just don't work out well. If you use your like ATM card, sometimes it works better. I save my credit cards for hospitals, emergencies, and things like that. It's just the best way to do it, you know. And I try not to pay online. I've seen too many people playing with that and play with it for days and days and days trying to get it going and stuff like that. And everybody seems to have a hard time with it because it shuts them down or blocks them or they lose money or something. So I said, forget that. I'm not going to take my chance. Sinfuls is on board. Hello. Sorry, running late, playing train. Okay, that's all right, Sinfuls. Francisco Fletes says, yeah, Michael L., I've run into that a couple of times. Always have to pay a person or Gcash or 7-Eleven. Michael L. says, Philippine credit card does not have as good rewards. Yeah, the Philippine credit cards don't have usually any rewards or anything from what I understand. Philippines, everything banking is really weird here compared to other countries, like with the Gcash, the PayMy, and stuff like that. Once you come to Asia, they have a lot of weird payment things, you know, that the United States doesn't have. Like we have PayPal, things like that, but we don't have these other things that they show on here. Mark Richards says, I heard Visa is best to use in the Philippines. You know, Citibank over here has all kinds of rewards in a lot of the restaurants. And for a while there, they had one deal when they had the Red Lobster where they paid 50% of your bill on Saturdays. I believe they still have that in some restaurants, maybe like Texas Roadhouse or Chili's or something like that. You have to ask if they have Citibank credit card holder discounts or anything like that. And that's well worth asking for, trust me. Because sometimes they give you 30% off, 50% off, or whatever. But also you can get your BFF card, guys, the Bistro card. That's a good card to have. Mark Richards says, I heard Visa is the best to use in the Philippines. Let's see, Mark Richards says, hi, Sinfuls. Travel Discovery, do you ever use a delivery app for food? Yes, we do. I actually have my neighbor do it because she knows how to do it. And I'm not too good at using those. So I asked my neighbor if she does it, if she'll do it for me, and then I give her the money, and then they bring it to her. So it works out pretty good. Sinful says, hi, Mark. Leonard Lunn. Hi, Steve from Houston, Texas. How you doing, Leonard? A lot of Texas people we got on here, too. It's kind of cool. We actually have, I believe Dean is from Texas. Dean is one of, we were out with Dean the other day. Sinful says, we just had 2 Grab food deliveries for the train session. There we go. Sinful says, Dean over the house? Sounds like Dean's over the house. Let's see, Joe Cunningham. Thank you for that lawyer. She replied promptly as in within 24 hours. That's awesome, Joe. I'm glad she worked out for you. That lawyer is a phenomenal lawyer, by the way. Okay, Dean is here? Okay, thanks, Sinfuls. Let's see, Leonard Lund says, hi, Sinfuls. Yeah, if you guys ever need a good attorney, we have Arlene Benoknok is her name. Okay, it's a kind of a strange name, but that's her name. And she is a phenomenal, reasonable, very cheap lawyer. When I say cheap, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it's cheap as far as what she charges. She charges very decent fees. Francisco Fletes says, I claim Texas, LOL. I know, yeah, that's also right too. You do too. But you also claim, what, you're originally from Mexico, right? Okay. Sinfuls, hi Leonard. Harada Jean says, hello Steve, expat living in Japan, moving to Mojave next July, getting married next July, waiting for her to finish her doctorate's degree. Thank you for your videos, all prepared. Francisco Fletes says, that's my state of legal residency. Okay. We met with Francisco the other day. We didn't get to see his house yet. We're going to see that in the future, hopefully, sometime. Let's see. Smart Business Training says, "Hey, Steve, and charges from Dubai. Yeah, we got to go out to eat to Denny's with Francisco, Sinfuls, and we had a really, really good time. Let's see. And Dean also went. Mark Richards says, Steve, that house for $700 to rent was just beautiful. That's actually Sinful's house, Mark. The one I just showed, that's Sinful's house. He's actually the moderator tonight. So, Travel Discovery. Once I get my ACR card, then can I get my driver's license from the LTO? Yes, you should be able to. I believe you have to wait six months, but I'm not sure. I deal mostly with the people that are SRRV holders. Okay, I believe you can go there maybe after 3 months or something like that, or maybe it's 60 days. I'm not sure. But usually you have to go to the LTO up in Quezon City for that if you really want to get it done fast. Let me see. I just lost my chat. Here we go. Let me go back here. Okay, Woody Woodson says, "Hi, I'm from Branson, Missouri, and I'm going to the Philippines next month. I enjoy your channel." Thanks, Woody. Sinful says, I can now claim Texas also as my address in the U.S. is there now. Michael L says, "Did you see the news from Jennifer Terry's community page about prepaid SIMs having to be registered now in the Philippines?" Yes, I did see that. Yeah, I know that's going to happen pretty soon. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen with people that already have phones here, whether we have to register. And I got to talk to my girlfriend because she's into that. And if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. Philip Jones says, "I'm traveling there next month. I didn't buy travel insurance when I purchased my ticket. Can I still buy travel insurance?" You should be able to, yes. Just contact one of those companies. You should be able to add it on. Okay, and you give me a flight number and all that stuff, usually. That's usually the way they work. Sinfuls, yes, SIM cards now be registered to prevent scammers. Let's see. Joe Cunningham, Justin's apartment looks nice. Yeah, Joe, I was just over there. It's almost completed as far as the painting goes, so I'm going to be showing it again pretty soon. I think he's almost totally done. He might even be done as we speak. I didn't get to stop there on the way home because I was over in Alabang today. We went out to eat, stopped at Texas Roadhouse for a little while with the family, and we went over to Landers also. Mark Richards says, "Wow, Sinfuls, I'm coming over, LOL." Michael L, "How does one register my SIM so I don't lose my number?" I'm gonna find out about that, Michael. Okay, and I'll see if you have to register, I'll do a story on it. I'll do a vlog on it. John Ross, I read an article that says if the military veteran is getting $1,500 per month, then expect 130 more add-on. Yes, that's about right. Somewhere around there. I think I'm getting 133 or something like that. So Francisco Fleta says, "I hope that whole SIM card registration is automatic and we don't have to jump through extra hoops." I don't think so. I'm going to try to find out more. I'm going to go up and ask maybe Smart tomorrow, or maybe my girlfriend already knows. I'm not sure. Sinful says, "I have a postpaid account with Globe, so mine already will be." Okay. Michael Onset, "Yes, you can buy travel insurance." Yes, you definitely can. Michael sells insurance, actually, guys. Let's see. Sinful says, "Haha, Mark, life is good here." Francisco Fleta says, "Yes, I have postpaid plan from Globe too." Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that this week, though. That's an interesting thing about the cards. If we have to register our names to those numbers now, because there must be some way that we can do it or something. Maybe we can just stop by one of the smart places and just say, "Hey, I want to register my number, and can you register for me?" I'll bet you that's probably the way they're going to have you do it. I'm going to see if I can get mine permanent too. Maybe just pay through a credit card or something like that. I'm going to stop at the Smart store tomorrow because I have to pay either tomorrow or the next day. I got to pay them anyway for, I have an iPad, and I have that on one of the plans because it has the chip, the SIM card in it. So that probably has to be registered too. But I think that's already registered because they have all my information. Let's see. Keep shooting questions, guys, so we can keep this going, keep it going. So, but yeah, let me see here. Francisco saying he's hoping that the SIM card registration is automatic. I think from now on it will be when you get a new SIM card. But right now, as I've heard, it's not. Let's see. Sinful says, I'm sure if you have a prepaid, you will have to get it registered. Absolutely. Yeah. I think they have enough information on me already. So we'll see, because I think they have my address and everything when we did that. So, and I'm sure, I think you said you have prepaid too, right, Sinful? So if you have prepaid, then they probably have all your information that they need anyway. I'm not sure what they need for information. I saw some list, but I can't remember what it was. Smart Business Training says, what does beer cost now? Beer, let's see. I'm not sure, because I really don't drink that much. Honey, what does it cost for a beer? For a small bottle of like San Miguel?
San Miguel is like 110, I think, the big one, 1 liter.
1 liter is 110, my girlfriend says. So, Mike, married to a beautiful woman. I just put money into our bank account, my remittance, that way less feet from the ATM. Okay. Sinful says, mine is postpaid. There we go. Harada Jean says, would like to make an appointment with you and entertain a dinner to thank you for all of your advice. I would like to shake your hand and return my appreciation. It's not necessary, man. I'm happy, I make more than enough money from this channel, from the ads and stuff like that, and I'm very happy just helping people. I get more satisfaction helping people, believe it or not, than from the money. I did it before for free, doing the same thing I do now on Facebook, and Facebook took me down because they didn't want me sending videos to people on like self-help videos and helping them how to do claims and stuff like that in the VA. And also to do the SRRV, so they decided to take me down. They took me down for a whole year, and then I started the YouTube, and it got monetized, and it was probably one of the best favors that Facebook ever did for me. So that's not necessary, Harada. Thank you though. I do appreciate it. If you ever come down this way and you want to meet, you can email me at steven5975@yahoo.com, and you can ask me for my phone number. If you're in the area, just give me a yell. Let's see, we can stop at meet at SM or something like that here in Tracy, Montero. Devin says, good morning, everyone. How you doing, Devin? Devin is going to be here pretty soon. Let's see, Smart Business Training in Dubai. It's up to $18 US. Let's see, Francisco Fletes says, mine is postpaid, the platinum plan. There we go. Francisco Fletes, 50 pesos for beer. That's for the regular size bottle with the long neck, I believe. Let's see, Smart Business Training, Facebook is a trip. Yeah, they are, and not in a good way either. See, Mike, married to a beautiful woman, says, do you stay around the Philippines? Just stay in your area? For the most part, yeah, I stick around in this area. I traveled around here before, back in the 80s and 90s, and I got around down to like Boracay, places like that, and I got to see a little bit up north of Luzon too. And I did a little bit of traveling up north in Luzon here too when I first got here. And but I don't really have an inkling to really travel that much around here. I'm happy where I am. I go down to Batangas and stuff like that, but that's in our area. Francisco Fletes, Steve, you're a lot taller than I thought. LOL. Thanks. Yeah, I'm about 6 feet tall. I'm not sure how tall you are. Let's see. Smart Business Training says, where exactly are you located, Steve? Tracy Marteris. Let's see. We got 57 people, 25 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We have a small group on here tonight, but we'll try to keep this going as long as we can. Okay. Just keep the conversation going, guys. So yeah, I'm not a big traveler here. Never have been. So yeah, we get to meet. Like I said, we met Francisco the other day. Francisco is of Mexican descent. If he joins our group, well, he is actually part of our group. So he's part of our group now. So he's the first Mexican in our group. We have another guy, Pete Pinal, and Pete is talking about joining our group too. And he's kind of going to come probably next year. So we will have another Mexican guy too. It's interesting. We have a pretty decent mixed group of people here, and I really like that we do have a mixed group. Michael Sill says, I've been to Batangas. How far away are you from there? Different island? Batangas is not a different island. It's just down. You have to pass through this tunnel through the mountains, and it's probably about an hour and a half maybe to get there, something like that. It's really quick. So, Travel Discovery. Travel Discovery's got her own channel, guys. If you guys have a chance, check out Travel Discovery. She ought to do something on Batangas because Batangas is beautiful. Let's see. It says you really have to budget here. Money can go quickly. You're right, Steve. We need startup costs. People forget that. I think you're learning. You're learning. It's a good subject to talk about, no matter what country you're in. You need to have startup money. A lot of guys come here and they build up slowly, and it's kind of sad because you really need a TV. You need a refrigerator because here they don't have refrigerators in most apartments that you rent. Some do, but they're really expensive apartments. They're $400 a month, maybe $300 if you're lucky. But most of them will not have refrigerators and AC. So you want to have that to live here. It's mandatory to have AC here and refrigerator too. Michael Sill says on Luzon then, right? Yes, we're just 20 miles south of Manila. It's a good place to live, and I've spoken about this probably 100 times before because of I can go almost anywhere from here. Okay, so I can jump on a jeepney right up front here and go all the way up to Manila. I can get on a bus. I can go on a trike. I can go anywhere from here. I can go to SM Dasma. I can do anything. It's pretty easy to travel here almost to anywhere. I can go to Tagaytay. I can go everywhere, just by walking out in front up the walkway from my house here. That's the amazing part. When I tell people this neighborhood is really really kind of weird because of the transportation we have, is everything's here, and we get on the buses before people even jump on the buses. So we get free reign of the bus. We get the front seat if we want. Let's see. Cecil Wampler says, I like the idea of living in a community like that. It is a unique idea, quite common there. It's not common, but I'll say this, that some areas have more expats, but they're not, I wouldn't call them an expat community like us where we know each other and we do things with each other. We have our own attorney here. We have our doctor that we work with here. If you live in our community right here, we also have external peripheral expats, like Dean and Sinfuls. They're part of our group, and they're big members of our group too. But I mean, like the core group here, we have almost everything that we need. We have our own attorney. We have our own doctor down the street. Most of us see the same doctor. Most of us have the same dentist, and it works out really well. It's kind of cool. And we have other benefits of living here too. We have connections with people that hook up your internet, things like that. So that's a big help. See, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. How do you find new material to chat about, or just about is just beyond me. You do a good job trying to keep up new things after so long. Kevin, it really is hard. Sometimes I just wing it and it comes out really, really good because there is a lot to talk about here. There really is. I try to stay off dating and the girls thing, but occasionally I'll touch on something different, and talk about the personalities here, because the personalities of the girls here are way different than back in the States. But you can have just as many problems here too. And I'm going to talk about that probably a little bit tomorrow. I'm thinking about that being my subject tomorrow. We've touched on it a little bit before, but I try to, sometimes I'll see something that you guys write and I'll say, hey, that's a good subject. So you guys help me too. See, Brooks Snyder is in the house. Stratford, Ontario, in the house. Brooke is one of us too. He went home for a while, and he will be back soon. Let's see, we're 81 and 32. Smart business training. So many beautiful areas in the PH, but girlfriend is on Luzon, so likely will settle home area. Luzon's a nice area. I like Luzon because you have a little bit of everything, and you're close to the airport. You're close to get out of here. If you want to travel to another country, and it's just as nice. It's not as nice as Palawan and places like that, but something? I love the people of Luzon. I love it here. And the great part is, we have our little community here, and that makes a substantial difference here. Hector Gubat says, my wife and daughter are disabled. Will we have a better quality of life there on a 6-figure pension? Hector, you can. Let me just say this. If you get a nice home in a nice gated community and you hire somebody to go out and get you food and stuff like that, I'm not sure how disabled your daughter and your wife are, Um, if they're really disabled, they can't get around. The malls are pretty decent for getting into a certain extent. Okay, but yes, you'll have a fairly good life here, but it depends where you are. You know, I would go to a more high end place, probably more like where Sinfuls lives. You know, some place that's more high end out there, or Alabang. Alabang would be a perfect place for you, probably. It's any place like that. Michael Sills planning to go near La Union in January or February, hoping airfare gets a little more reasonable than it is now. I want to get back to that, Hector. Let me just say this, Hector. Before you move someplace, make sure you check out the malls so they can get into the malls okay, and you'll be all right. Okay, because you want to make sure some of these malls have stairs and some don't. So be careful which ones you go to. Most of them are okay. All right, and you should be okay, but make sure you're safe and you feel comfortable in that area. And I would say, like I said, the best place of all I would say would be in Alabang, because Alabang has a lot of assistance for the disabled. Okay, a lot of um, elevators and stuff in the malls. So check that out. I think you'll like it there. I think Alabang Town Center Mall, somewhere around there, you'd probably like it, and it's it's a little more expensive, but on the figures that you're talking about, you'll be fine. Let's see. Michael says planning on going near La Union in January, February, hoping airfare gets a little more reasonable than it is now. Diary says, "Hey Steve, your recent videos have been great, very informative and helpful." Thanks, Diary. Mr. Brister says, "How far time wise is Tracy Martinez from Tagaytay?" I'd say about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. We're really close. We can get there pretty fast in a car. We go over there all the time to use Army Navy to get some tacos or burrito or something. Francisco Fletes says, "I'm amazed when expats can make the move from U.S. to Philippines without having a few scouting trips and practice runs. Where, where you come and you stay as a slow traveler like 1 month to test it out." A lot of people have come here though, Francisco, and then some of them it wasn't for them. We've seen a few people come into our group that it just wasn't for them. They go to test out other places too, and those places aren't for them either. And I tell them it's no difference between here and down south. In fact, down south the infrastructure gets a little worse, and they complain and moan about the infrastructure sometimes, and they end up going home. We've had a few of those. Dusty Dave, is there absolutely no health insurance option there that is provided by VA for 100% med retired? No, this is a clinic here that only covers service connections, and remember, it is a clinic. So you have to remember that because it's just a clinic, you'll be using mostly the foreign medical plan, okay? Let's see, med retired U.S. military other than service connected HC. So yeah, you're gonna have to use FMP, and some of the hospitals will bill FMP or TRICARE direct. Okay, some will. You have to, if you have FMP, there's a few hospitals that will bill FMP for you, so you don't have to front the money up front. Also, the same with TRICARE. There's many TRICARE hospitals here. I was working with somebody the other night on the phone, and I told him to look up online to find out all the TRICARE hospitals. Go on the TRICARE site. He did, and somebody actually sent it to me too, and I believe I sent it to him. He looked it up and he said, "Man, there's a ton of them there." I said, "Yeah, there is. It's more than FMP hospitals." So if you come in here and TRICARE, totally different ball game. Let's see, Dusty TRICARE Select overseas is available for those eligible. Yes. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Brooke, do you go to the festival? He's talking to Brooke Schneider, our local. He's up in Canada right now. Mark Richard Calvin from Sunshine Shoulder says some kind of gizmo on his TV that he pays once a year. It might be like $200. He can get any station from around the world. You know anyone that has that? We actually have one, but we never use it. Nobody watches TV here. I never watch TV. Never, ever, ever. Since I've gotten here, I think I've watched TV for maybe 3 or 4 hours at the max. In fact, now I was thinking about putting a TV in the room, but I think it's just a total waste. Francisco Fletes says it's a different type of budget when you come here for a week as a tourist than when you will move here to live. Hard to estimate where your budget will fall when you only go here as a tourist. I agree on that, Francisco. It's very true. Because when you're living here, it's so different because you like to go out. You're retired. I went out today. I had a steak at Texas Roadhouse, steak and shrimp. So let's see. Brooke Snyder says, yes, Mike, I take a couple of shows each year. Let's see, we're 79 and 43. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Dusty Davis is not eligible for TRICARE, Tim G. Mike married to a beautiful woman. I'm originally from Sarnia. That's interesting. Let's see. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, Luzon, Baguio, and the great beach surfing areas just an hour away. Nice resorts everywhere. No AC required in Baguio. No, it's really cool there. Devin Darringer says, yeah, Francisco, I'm finding that out right now. We'll be there in a few days for a few months. Devin will probably be staying around our area. I was talking to him the other day. I think he's coming to stay with us for a while, so we're going to try to help him out. We'll be picking him up at the airport. Let's see. Sinful says, my area is excellent. I have all I need within 5 minutes of the house. Also, I can get on the expressway in 3 minutes and go to Manila nonstop. Also, Devin, give me a call if you can tomorrow night. Okay, I want to talk to you about something. I think we might be able to get a car. So a different car, different driver. So we're probably going to end up going that route, just to let you know. Mike married to a beautiful woman, says Negros Oriental is nice, not so busy. I have house with Mangiod, about an hour from Dumaguete. There we go. Brooks Knight says, I'll be back in mid-November. We can meet up sometime. I'm glad I'm not the only token Canadian. LOL. There we go. Yeah, we got a guy here. I think it was Jerry. I think Jerry's from Canada. We have another guy here, Richard. Now, Richard's a really, really nice guy. We have a new guy here. He's a photographer. He's a professional photographer, and he takes beautiful photos. Really, really nice guy, too. And he actually, just from talking to him, I'm coming up with ideas. So I think he's going to be a great match here, living across the street from us, too. So Philip Jones, airfare should be going up since oil prices are going up. If you can get airfare close to 1,000, I would buy it. Francisco Fletes says, I have Roku. That's what we had. I have Hulu, Netflix. I have Netflix. I think I have Hulu too. I have AFN, Armed Forces Network. I got that, and many other streaming channels. I even get U.S. local channels, but I have to pay the subscription for Hulu and Netflix. They have Curse of Oak Island out on Apple TV right now for any of you guys that love Oak Island. I'm a big fan of that show, so I love talking about that show. It's kind of boring now, but hopefully they're going to hit something up there. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, my buddy actually bought room heaters in Baguio, no AC. Room heaters, huh? That's funny, especially in the Philippines. Michael Sills, Philip Jones, yeah. If I could find near 1,000, I'd grab it. Not even close right now. Michael L says, it is only 1,000 US dollars if you want to be stuck in basic economy. Basic economy is like a cattle car. Yeah, I took a China Airlines one time, man, and I paid about $700 when I was coming over here for a round trip ticket. I got the round trip as my return, as my throwaway ticket because it was so cheap. It was like $50 over the one way. And I bought it, man, and it was, even though the plane wasn't packed, it was horrible, and the food was terrible on that plane. And they didn't treat you too good either. Hector Gubat says, our caregivers easy to hire and plentiful. My daughter needs someone to feed, bathe, and change her, as well as provide companionship. We are thinking about moving there. Thanks for the great info. Yes, Hector. Actually, my daughter here, she's getting ready to graduate from nursing school. I think they charge like $500 a month or something like that. You can get a nurse if you want, you know, and they can do all kinds of stuff. Some of them will even cook, you know, some will, some won't. But a caretaker's a lot cheaper than that. Michael Sills, Michael L, yeah, knees to the chest and blood clots in the legs, maybe. Yeah, I've had blood clots before. Those are terrible. Lots of pain. Yeah, you got to get up and walk around and stuff and take some aspirin or something too, they say. Joe Cunningham, how far are you from General Trias? I'm right next door to General Trias, right next door. We are right close to the line. Michael L says, decent business class ticket is closer to $7,000 for round trip. However, I have tons of MX and Chase points, so it is free or close to free for me. That's pretty cool. I never used any of those point things. And I used to travel a lot down to Belize. I never used them. Francisco Fletes says, I'm the token Mexican. You are now, that's for sure. You know, My friend Pete, he thought he was going to be, but you got here before him. So, and Pete talks to me on the phone all the time. He's a cool dude. Philip Jones, it's called Signal that gives you the TV channels. It's about 2,000 per month. That's not bad. 2,000 pesos. Michael still says, Michael L. Nice. Hector Gubat from Southern California to hopefully there in Alabang. Yeah, Alabang, man, is nice. Hector, you want to check out Alabang, please do. I think you'll feel more at home there. Alabang has good medical centers, movie stars, a lot of politicians and famous people live there. And I think you'd love the feel there and the vibe there. It's just a nice little area. It's kind of like downtown Houston or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's a beautiful little town. See, Mark Rich says, I'm working with customs in Port Huron, Michigan, where the bridge takes you to Sarnia, Ontario. Okay. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, Sinfuls, thumbs up. Francisco Fleta says, message retracted. See, Michael L. Mark Rich is much better to cross at Port Huron, Sarnia than Detroit and Windsor. Philip Jones, US TV Now was designed for military. I used it when I was in Korea for 5 years. It was $13.50 a month. The cable local channels was out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There's also Free Inter TV. Free Inter TV, I believe they call it. You can look it up right now. freeintertv.com, I think it is. It's free internet TV. Some of the channels are good and some of them kind of, to be blunt, they suck. And they run like a half hour late or something like that. So they're not exactly timed with the real channel. But it's okay. Who cares? You're still watching TV, Lazy Larry Lee. Hello, Stephen. Watching ads. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. When you guys watch the ads, it helps build our income because that's the only income we get is from the ads. So just please let them run, or at least let one run, so we can get some income off of that. We appreciate that, and it does help the channel. This month has actually been phenomenal. We don't talk about that too much. A lot of channels like to push all that. I speak about it once in a while because our channel for the most part does pretty decent on that, and I'm very happy that the group that we have because a lot of the other channels, believe it or not, even though they have 30 or 40,000 subscribers, actually make less than our channel because our channel knows that we don't ask for money. We don't do the super chats or anything like that. We were planning on doing the super thanks, but I'm not really sure I'm going to do it. We're doing good right now off the way we're going, and I think we're going to end up keep on going the way we're going. Just do the ads, and that's fine for me. And it doesn't hurt. There's no fluff in this channel usually, which is the way I like to keep it. Keep it just basic, Mike and Mauricio, what's a good way to find a driver to hire for a day? I'll be there I'll be in the Salang area. Mike, if you need a driver, and if you can call, you can email me at steven5975@yahoo.com. We can send packs over if you need, and he can work for you. Okay, we could take care of that. I make nothing off of Pax. Pax is his own business, Mike married to a beautiful woman. Question: do you live on pension? Do you get it put into account in the Philippines? No, I have it put back in the States and I transfer it over. It's just more safer in the States, I think, and then just transfer it the way that I want to. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Hi, Triple L. Mark Richard, yes. Michael, Port Huron is better to cross over. Philip Jones, I paid $13.50 for my round-trip ticket. Just bite the bullet and lose the stress. There is a lot of cheap hotels throughout the Philippines to save you money. 11 series, is that 8.7% increase going to do wonders over there with the current rates? Yes. It's helping us. It's going to help us substantially. Leonard Lund says, hi, Larry. Lazy Larry Lee says, hello, Mike, married to a beautiful woman. Leonard Lund, hi Mike. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, I'm out of Port Huron, about 50 miles by Ontario, Canada, Windsor Bridge in Detroit. Mike married says, hi Leonard. Lazy Larry, it's going back and forth. Okay. Smart Business Training says, as a YouTube Premium member, do you get money from my views? Yes, we do. You would think that we don't, but yes, we do get a small amount off of that. So, like, anything that you watch, we get something off of it, okay? Even if it's a small amount. But yeah, we do, Francisco Fletes, Armed Forces Network AFN is free out of Korea from prior military. You can get it on app on Roku. I just put in for that the other day. You can get the decoder from PX online. I haven't looked at the thing though. I think I put that app on the other day. Smart Business Training says, I see no ads. On this one here, there won't be any ads till probably tomorrow when it goes up, even if it should have ads tomorrow. Harada Jean says, what is the going monthly wage for a full-time housekeeper in Malawi? Do you know of a reliable housekeeping agency? You're actually better off going and asking around for a housekeeper sometimes and find somebody that you just like to work with. Going price for a housekeeper, if it's a live-in one, I don't know, 120, 150, somewhere around there. You can find cheaper sometimes. Michael Sill says, you provide a nice service, Steve. How to make a small donation to your channel, especially if it helps needy brothers in arms. Michael, we don't take any donations, okay? We have a guy that's in need right now. His name's Michael. Michael has flesh-eating disease. If you did want to pass on something to him, I'd pass it directly to him if you wanted to. You can contact me and ask me for my phone number through my email. It's steven5975@yahoo.com. And anything you want to donate, I'm not going to keep a nickel of it. I'll just give it directly to Michael. Because Michael is very needy right now, and he has some serious illness going on here, and it's too much for him to handle, unfortunately. And if you want to help somebody, that's who it'll help. Okay, so I don't take any donations or anything. We also donate money to the orphanage here. So if you want to do that, we can do that too. But like I said, and I'll send you a receipt for the orphanage if you want. Hector Gabat says, I'm going to use an old phone to autoplay your videos, ads, and all. Want to help out a little. Yeah, that would actually help out. It does help, Hector. You could just play the playlist, okay, and it'll play my stuff. I do have some other stuff that on the playlist that might not be mine, but it's still good stuff to watch. But most of the stuff is all my stuff on there. There's 1,100 videos, so it'll play for a long time. Philip Jones, Mike, banks in the Philippines can hold a deposit for weeks unless you deposit cash. Yes, yeah, they will. If it's a check you cash, if you cash like a American check from your bank back home, and you write it out to yourself, it takes about a month. Okay, so just FYI, but you can do that if you wanted to. John Bergeron says, I use YouTube for all my news live in the USA, Fox News, Max, all live 24 hours a day. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. If you get some personal disaster like cancer and need to go home for surgery, we can accept a few weeks of donations maybe. If I ever got cancer or something like that, from as far as I'm concerned, I'd probably go back and just use the VA. That's what I would do. I could stay at my sister's house, and there is a VA near there. That's probably what I would end up doing, to be honest with you. Sinful's just put up my thing at steven5975@yahoo.com. Again, I mean, most of the times I don't take donations. Anything people donate, it goes right to the orphanage, or it'll go to Mike if you want it to go to Mike, okay? The guy's name is Mike Ladley. You can also find him online, he has his own Facebook page too. Jeeves Winston, a live-in housekeeper, do you get a 40-hour work week out of that person? Yes, and sometimes more. Okay, if you work them more than that, I would give them a little bit extra. But you also have to cover their health coverage too, their health care. So you have to remember that. So in most cases, you have to cover their health care. And if you hire them for a year, you're supposed to give them that 13th month or whatever they call it there, whatever, something. Francisco Fletes, I'm not that onto that thing. I know that they have it over here. They could give you like a month's pay extra in December or something like that. Francisco Fletes says, I get SNR delivery every 2 weeks. With the current Forex and cola, my spending power is about 25% greater. I'm buying same stuff at SNR and saving 25% compared to the same orders from a year ago. I agree. I mean, I think we're all doing pretty damn good over here, Smart Business Training says, got to scoot. Take care, Steve. Thank you, man. Thanks for joining us. We got 107 people, 56 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Sinful says, but bank wires will clear in a couple of days. B. William, can a Western work in a hotel in the Philippines? Yes, actually, if you're SRRV, you can work over here. You still got to register to work. Um, yeah, Sinful's right. The bank wire is clear in a couple days or hours in some cases. Sinful's mine actually clear in about maybe 15 minutes to 2 hours, which is pretty good. Michael L says BBC, World Service, and DW for Good News, AP, and Reuters is good. Yes, all those are good. I actually like BBC. Mr. Brister says, does OTA digital antennas work in the Philippines? I'm not sure. I'm not that up on those type of things. So Francisco Fletes says Sinfuls might be able to answer that. He knows a lot of things like that, or maybe Francisco does. Francisco Fletes, Wise can send money via a check within 24 to 48 hours. Sinful says B. William possibly, but the pay is really low. Yes, Sinfuls is right on that. The pay over here would not be worth working for. James Holtman, but it'd be fun, you know. Philip Jones, reference 1350 our round trip ticket. What website and how far in advance? Kevin Nash's Kitchen. My girl is a housekeeper. She works like 90 plus hours a week. I believe it, you know, and that's a lot of people think like of a 40-hour work week. Over here, in most places, there's no such thing as a 40-hour work week here. A lot of places to hire you will work you the way they feel like working you. Francisco Fletes says you can work if you have an SRRV card. Yes, you can. You just got to register though. You have to register. You have to do something. You have to. I think the place that hires you would help you do that. Jeeves Winston, forget the housekeeper. I would want a full-time yoga instructor, personal trainer, cook. You can get that too, probably. You know. Philip Jones, does the SS base amount go up when COLA goes up? I'm not sure what you're talking about with the base amount. I'm not on SS, by the way. I will be in about 2 years probably. But whatever you're receiving, once you hit 62, it starts going up even if you don't start collecting it. Okay, but yes, whatever the amount is you're collecting is going to go up. So Sinful says, yes, I think mine cleared also in a short time. Manila Martin, Jeeves Winston, I have a trainer when I'm in the province. I do road cycling. It's very cheap and to get a personal trainer. Okay. I see a lot of people are into biking here, and I see a lot of really thin people on those bikes, and it's amazing how thin biking keeps you. You know, I was looking at some of these people today when I was watching, like, it must have been a biking club or something. And I'm not talking motorbikes, I'm talking like bicycles. And they ride these 10-speed bikes, man, and these people are like thin as rails. And they ride a lot. I see some of these people out in the street a lot because I pay attention to what I see, and I'm pretty observant, and I notice that I see some of the same people sometimes. So it's kind of cool. And these people are out a lot riding their bikes. Jeeves Winston, there's a lot of pollution out there too they're breathing in. Kevin Nash, 90 hours a week. What does she do? They probably have them doing laundry, cooking, doing dishes, sweeping, cleaning, making beds, cleaning refrigerators, cleaning the bathroom, stuff like that. It takes time if you have a big house. Sinfuls, Mr. Brister, yes, OTA antennas work and receive HD. I knew Sinfuls would know about that. He knows all that stuff. Izzy and Chris, actually, according to the law, a Westerner can, however, you can be replaced by a Filipino, and the company can hire other locals that you should train to take your place. Jeeves Winston, if I could retire and hire a full-time employee to clean. Yes, you can. Sure you could. It's really cheap. I hire people to clean my house. Okay? I mean, I hire people to clean my house. If my girlfriend's busy or something like that, I hire people to clean my house. Hector says, Western Union charges 99 cents for bank-to-bank transfers, but it takes 6 to 7 business days up to $4,000. You know, Hector, I used that the other day, okay? And they told me that they were going to do it that day. And I'm going to tell you, I lost Western Union for a while, and they gave it back to me just recently. And then Remitly cut me off now. So it's like back and forth. And I don't think I'm going to use Remitly again because they're asking for too much information that's information that they shouldn't even have. But Western Union took me back, and I did that 99 cents transaction, and it says that you are eligible for a quicker bank transfer. Within the next 24 hours, your transfer will hit your bank. And it did. It hit within like 12 hours or less. and then it went right into my bank. So, but they do take a little chip off your exchange rate. So just be aware of that, Hector. Okay. So you do lose a little bit that way. Sinful says, Philip Jones, your base is calculated on your earnings only. Once you draw after 62, it will rise based on the COLA. Yes. Yeah, even if you're not taking it. Mike, married to a beautiful woman, says, go to church, talk with someone in church office to help find housekeeper. Actually, Mike, that's actually a great idea because they will try to find somebody that's in the church and they'll be probably trustworthy too. So you could actually, pretty much count on that. And it might be somebody in need that's, but you're going to have to train these people too. And I'll be honest with you, we had a housekeeper here that every time she went on break, I had to retrain her. So sometimes be careful. If you get something like that and you don't feel you can work with her, just get rid of her right away. She's not worth training. Try to get somebody that's trainable. Because some of the people from the provinces, and I'm not making a joke about that. It was actually true. It was actually my girlfriend's relative, and we used to poke fun of her because literally when she went on break, you had to retrain her. And it was like that for months on end. Finally, I says, I can't take this anymore, So, Philip Jones says, James Hultman, I use Kayak. I bought my ticket 6 weeks ago. Make an account. I flew from Seoul to Cleveland. There we go. See, Kevin Nash's Kitchen, I think most OFW works 14 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Francisco says, message retracted. Sinfuls, LOL, that is why I ride my MTB on a regular basis. USA to Philippines life, stationary bike is good too. Yes. Or just walking in the park like I do sometimes. I'm actually going to start walking in the park again here pretty soon. Hopefully the park's almost fixed. They've been working on a lot of the stuff in the park, and I think it's almost done. Jeeves Winston says, is it actually possible to hire a life coach full-time for $200 a month? A life coach. Wow. I had somebody tell me that I should be a life coach. I don't know about that, but you probably could. I wouldn't know where to find one, but yeah, you probably could. Sinfuls, my area is green and clean. Many bikers here. Yeah, that's you live in a nice area, Sinfuls. James Holtman, thank you, Philip. Francisco Flittes, you need to provide a room for a housekeeper to stay in. You provide room and board. They start Monday morning and leave Friday night. That's with some of them. Some of them are full-time live-in maids. You give them a room or whatever. Some of them will sleep on the sofa if they have to. As long as they have a place to sleep. They should have a personal bathroom too, if possible. Sometimes you can get a place like mine and just rent the place next door for $60, and you got to just tell you want her to cook and clean, and go out and do all the food shopping. That might be a good take actually for some people that don't want to get married and don't want to be locked down, and some guys don't. Philip Jones, I'm taking SS at 65, but retiring at 64, living off savings for 1 year. There we go. That's actually a good idea. Philip Jones, my company will let me work remote if I want. That's actually a good take if you can do that, man. I wish I could do that. I can on here, but if I could work a regular job online, I would. Amazon actually allows you to do that too. I posted a thing on Facebook about that the other day, actually. They pay $22 an hour. Jeeves Winston, I pay a cleaner now $30 an hour, three hours a week. That's $360 a month. Wow. Over here, you'd pay like $3 or $4 a day. Joe Cunningham, I pay my caretaker actually about $7 a day probably. I pay my caretaker 3K pesos a month to clean and take care of my empty house in Tagaytay. She also pays my taxes. That's great if you can find somebody that's really like all around like that. And some people are. You just pay them a little bit extra. Francisco Fletes says, and some people work with other people too. You can have people come in and they come in with their daughter or something like that, and they'll clean your house and you just pay them the same, and they split it between the two of them and they get it done in half the time. Francisco Fletes says, Wise, Remitly, World Remit, Western Union, MoneyGram should have all of them in case you run into send limits. Yes, that is true. It's very easy to upload those and do those anyway. Mike and Mauricio, I thought I was the only one Mike married to a beautiful woman. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. They get up at 4:30 a.m. and cook, get the kids off to school, pack lunches for everyone, do cleaning of dishes, do laundry, iron, walk the dog, more cleaning, shopping, lunch, dinner, more dishes. Yes, they do a lot. That's for sure. A lot of. I mean, I'm forgetting a lot of things, but that's a good reminder right there, especially if you have kids. Harada Jean, thanks Francisco. New room prepared for housekeeper, privacy, and use of main kitchen and dirty kitchen. Lazy Larry Lee, Mike and Mauricio, LMAO. Let's see. Brooke Snyder says peso transfers to my Wise card are instant and rate is great, minimal fees. Yeah, Brooke loves using Wise. For any of you guys that Wise is actually a good card for places. I guess they take credit cards and stuff like that, and you can pay for things. He does his transfers over to that Wise card, so and he swears by it. He loves that. Charles Merrill says, Steve and everyone, I'm learning a lot from you. Thank you. Does anyone use a safe? Yes, yes. We have several people here with safes. Actually, quite a few of our expats here use safes. Probably all throughout the Philippines. They sell safes in SM at a lot of SM, so it's really good safes too. They're a bit expensive, but they're good safes. Hector Gubat says, if you have a live-in housekeeper, try not to make them work over 50 hours a week. Overworked employees make for unhappy workers. Yes, if you do work them over 50 hours, give them a little bit extra. You know, take care of your housekeeper. Take them out to dinner when you go out to dinner with your family or whatever. Do stuff like that. Let's see. Brooke Snyder says, I'll do the life coach for $250. There you go. Brooke Snyder. Let's see. Philip Jones. Francisco Fletes. Remitly will ask for bank statements, passport, utility bill, W-2 to put you on their highest tier. Yeah, they asked me for like a couple of things that I did not want to do. The one was the bank statement, but they were asking me questions about like who is my girlfriend, how long have I known her, what like things like that. I don't think I'm a big boy. I should be able to do that on my own without somebody asking me private questions like that. That's just the way I feel. And Western Union has got into that a little bit, but not to the point that Remitly does. Jeeves Winston, you are a life coach. I can imagine maybe just parsing it out. Yoga instructor, house cleaner, and cook. There we go. Charles Merrill says, I think you also, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired today. I think you have to also contribute to your workers' Social Security. Yes. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Mike and Mauricio, it used to be Mike married to a Filipina, but changed it. Mike, whenever you write something, some of yours gets cut off, so I can't see some like the last few words. Philip Jones, life coach. I am positive you can find someone to steal your money. LOL. There you go. Dusty Dave, I wish the naval base was still there. Would be a definite positive for vets in the PH. Yes, it would. Mr. Brister says, I believe Social Security and the COLA brought me up to $2,000 a month. Don't forget the exchange rate. You probably actually have more than that when you consider that your buying power. He says, I learned you can choose choose to wire your SS to the Philippines bank. Those international transfers hit on the 3rd of the month. Yeah, you can do that too. Mike married to a beautiful woman says you can get housekeeper in your neighborhood. She comes in the morning and goes home at night. James Haltman, wife and I have a house in Bacolor near San Fernando. I'm still working in U.S. Would love to join group outing when I'm there. December to January 7th. I'm checking in to see if you all post to get together. Yeah, James. Write to me in an email at steven5975@yahoo.com. Okay, and ask me to get on my mailing list, and also I'll get you on my ask my Facebook also. Okay, but ask to get on my email list, and I'll put you on there for the meetings and get-togethers. Okay, and you'll get those from now on. Okay, but I also I do post them on my Facebook when we do them. We do some private ones too, with a small group sometimes, just because we have so many people. So, but we do the big ones too. Let's see, Van Turner. I use Western Union to send me cash and $100 bills. I know the girls who work there, and they get U.S. dollars delivered on Tuesday, Thursday, and I tell them how much I need reserved. The exchange at the money exchanger. Van Turner says the hall in the mall for a better rate. Let's see. James Holtman says December 15th to January 7th. We should have something going on during that time. We're thinking about doing a Christmas thing. I'm not sure where we're going to do it. We're definitely going to do a Thanksgiving one. Probably at Texas Roadhouse. I think it'd be kind of nice to have Thanksgiving there. Rob Gonzalez says, I'm retired with my pension and SS to be transferred to the PH. Will my pension and my SS be transferred to the PH? You can transfer it using all these different ways, but yes, you can also do it that way directly. They will send it in some cases, but it's best to have it sent to the U.S. and then have it sent here using one of the remit things. That's my take on that. That's what I believe you should do. Sinfuls, there is some high-end safes at Conrad Mall. LOL, right? So yes, they're like really high-end ones with gold on them and gold leaf and all kinds of stuff. They're really, really, really super high-end. USA to Philippine Life, we had some issues with Remitly. This visit to the Philippines got us looking for alternatives to transfer money from when we make permanent move there. Yes, you're going to have problems with all these companies at one time or another. I had to call Western Union because they put a hold on my thing, and I went on there and it says on hold. After they had just sent me a thing saying that it's going to be sent. So I went on there and I called them, and I asked the guy, what can I do to stop this? And he says, do yourself a favor and call them right after you do the transfer. And he says, just tell them you don't want to have any problems. Is everything going to be okay? And most times everything will be all right. So that's the way to stop that. See, Mr. Brister, I would not trust a Philippine bank account as my main account. Yeah, I agree with Michael on that. That's why I say send little bits of money over, or send it to Western Union and pick up cash or something, or send it to a BDO account or something like that, and just use that as your spending account and use the BDO card to pay for things. Let's see, I would keep my main account in the U.S. financial institution and only have a Philippine account as secondary. Yes, I totally agree with Michael on that. Philip Jones, James Holtman, what city are you flying from? Kevin Nash's Kitchen, can your wife legally own a gun if she wants? Have you researched that stuff? Kevin, I haven't looked into that. My girlfriend says that she can own a gun, but if you shoot it, you're going to get in trouble. So, and I think it kind of puts a lot of liability on you because the laws are kind of funky here, kind of wonky. I wouldn't have a gun in your house. Okay, as an expat, I wouldn't have a gun. Not even a BB gun. So, just stay away from guns here. There's no need of a gun here. The crime here is way less than it is back home. For me, I used to live in Lawrence, Massachusetts. It was a crime-riddled city. I live in a town here. It's a lot of poverty all over the Philippines, and I don't see that much crime here, in all honesty. Sinful says, Kevin Ness Kitchen, yes, your wife, a Filipino citizen, can own a gun to have in your home. Yes, you can own it, but it gets kind of wonky, James Holtman at Phillip, Columbia, South Carolina through DFW. I actually got my my high school diploma from Columbia, South Carolina. That's where I got my diploma. Francisco Fletes, Wise gives you a multi-currency account. You can send money via ACH from your US bank account to Wise Dollar account, then transfer from US dollar to peso account, then just use your Wise debit card to pay. Yeah, Wise is pretty good. Brooks swears by that. Brooks Snyder, our token Canadian. Mr. Brister, you are also allowed to work on a 13A visa if married to a Filipina. That's good to know. I never knew that. I'm not really that up on. A lot of people ask me about the 13A visas, and that's one thing I'm not up on. I try to stick to being a professional on the retirement visas pretty much, and somewhat on the tourist visa. Tourist visa is pretty easy. Sinful says, so if someone were to get shot breaking in, make sure the wife did the shooting. Exactly, Sinfuls. Kevin Nash's Kitchens says, at Sinfuls, and then he starts laughing. Charles Morrell, does anyone train how to shoot with their panais? There actually is a place in Tracy Martinez right here where you can go shooting. Francisco Flitta says, great point, Sinfuls. Ha ha ha. Craig Jordan, I have always thought about what is an understandable meaning of what a life coach is. Life coach can be many things, I guess. You know, I knew a lady that was a life coach. I never really asked her what you do, you know. I kind of have a rough idea what they do, just to kind of give you guidance in life, I think. James Holtman at Philip bought the tickets yesterday, 3K through American Airlines. See, Van Turner says, my maid works 8 to 4, let her leave early a lot. Get breakfast, lunch, and dinner times. She gets off when she need. Phil Health SS 5.5K a month with the 13th month. That's not a bad price. Sinfuls, Charles Merrill, yes, there are shooting ranges and gun clubs and stores. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, I'm just causing trouble, I think. Joke. Cedric, I'm on the thing. James Holtman says, next year we'll use kayak to get cheaper tickets for May to June. No Bull Terrier says, Steve, can you give us your email address again, please? It is Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com. Sinfuls just put it up for you. Okay. Let's see. Rob Gonzalez says, I will be there in December for the holidays and spend some time with my girlfriend and spend some time with her family. Tickets are already bought. Can't wait to go. Francisco Flitta says, Thanksgiving would be good. Yes, we're going to do that, Francisco, for sure. Okay. I definitely want to do your house though someday if you'll let us. Okay, just let me know if you will. Sinful says, Rob Gonzalez, nice to hear. KM says, let's see, do you know anyone who relocated to the Philippines and bought a car? Yes. Are used cars a bad idea? No. We had one of the guys here, he bought a car with 14,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful car. I was actually riding in it today, and it's a nice car. It's a SUV with 7 seats. Paycheck, how are you listed on Facebook? I'm listed as Steven Johnson, okay? But there's a lot of Steven Johnsons. You might find me, but if you email me and ask me, I'll send you the link. Just ask me for the link. And I usually get back to people within 48 hours, sometimes 72 hours, depending on the amount of people that I have to answer. Sinfo says you need to buy a big safe and put your high-end safe in, as they cost like 750K PHP. It depends on, I saw some cheaper safes in SM that were actually pretty heavy and nice safes. They're cheaper too, and they're nice. Charles Merrill, does anyone have a savings account with American Express? I'm not sure. I haven't heard anybody using American Express too much. Sinful says, at KM, bought 2 used cars, no issues at all. John Bergeron, with our raise, we are getting, brings me up to 2,173. Not bad here. I use my card here, HSB Bank, because it allows me to get 40,000 a swipe. So you got 121 people, 74 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Joe Cunningham asks, are the safes fireproof? Yes, most of them are. Not all. Some are. And how much do they cost? They're all different prices, Joe. I mean, when I say all different prices, I mean they get really expensive at the Conrad building. You best to go to SM, one of the SMs that does have safes. Sinful says, yes, they are fireproof. Most are. John Fetchko, Remitly has only asked for my address and phone number. Girlfriend also for 2 years. Yeah, they get kind of nosy. They were asking me for like a statement the other day. So I stopped dealing with them. Dusty Dave, why would anyone want and need to work with a housekeeper, etc., more than 40 hours excluding actual need? I assume they're paid very little compared to U.S. wages. Just seems unnecessary in my opinions. Yeah, most of the time you probably wouldn't need them most of the time. And when you have a housekeeper or something like that, Dave, a lot of them kind of do stuff with the family too. They're family friends. They're almost like a part of the family. So just keep that in mind. And they don't work hard. They have a lot of fun with the family too. I think a lot of the housekeepers become family members. They really do become family members. Francisco Fletes, I've used two cars, 500K for a 2015 Toyota for family travel, 300K for a 2013 Fortuner. Both are working great. Fortuner owned since 2019. Hayache for 1 year. Yeah, you can get some good deals over here on some vehicles, man. Like really, really good deals. I saw a vehicle for $3,000 the other day being sold by one of Rike's ex-girlfriends, and it was a nice little car. I don't know how many miles it had on it, but man, that thing looked clean. And it looked almost like a Land Rover, but it wasn't. I don't know what make it was, but it had a rhinoceros on the side. It looked like something that you'd use in Africa or out in the outback, you know. Philip Jones, James Holtman, the prices are about 3,900 now is the cheapest. You're flying at price time, crazy money. I'm flying November 17th through December 3rd, paid 1,340 from Cleveland to Detroit, Seoul to Manila. Sinful says, I agree on the gun issue, not a real need. It is safe here, especially in gated communities. Yes, even without the gated communities, pretty much. We live right behind the mayor. We don't have any problem here. KM, has anyone gotten car insurance there? Ballpark, how much does it cost? KM, it's pretty cheap. I'm not sure what the prices are, but the guys told me that it's cheaper here than it is in the U.S., so just FYI. Mr. Brister says, I've been using World Remit for a long time with no issues. Costs $3.99 per transaction, and the money is available within minutes. I have Wise as a backup. Sinful says, KM, my insurance for a year on my truck and SUV was $475 for the year for each full coverage plan. So that's very reasonable. Back home, I was paying about $1,500. So, U.S. And that was for a brand new Toyota Corolla. Charles Morrell says, I also use World Remit, good service and quick. Rob Gonzalez says, I also use Remitly and no issues. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, oh, insurance for one old car here is over $1,000 per year. I haven't seen that here. Not over 1,000 for sure. Maybe in the U.S. I think you're talking about in the U.S., Kevin Nash. Okay, yes, I think that's what you're talking. It looks like it is. Michael Sills says, can you register your bank account with Zelle? Just tried it. Says you're not registered. I'm not that familiar with Zelle, to be honest with you. Charles Morrell, I use Zelle. Yes, it's connected to your account. James Holtman, I think I know what you're talking about. I think that's Zelle. Yeah, I think I saw that with my bank, actually. Let's see, agreed. It took me quite a lot of time to search available flights over Christmas until found low price in the right time frame, likely because first Christmas PH opened since pandemic started. Francisco Fletes, Zelle only works to transfer money from one account to another U.S. account. Doesn't work with overseas account. Okay, because I saw that on my U.S. account, but I didn't think it sent money over here. That's why I just didn't. I always use Western Union or one of those. Remitly used to be good, but that's changing. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, how does one keep a ball cap over 3 years without it disintegrating after 200 washings? You know, my ball cap, the little button on the top there, it got down to the metal inside the thing because I kept bumping on the top of the trikes and stuff like that, and wrecked my Red Sox hat. And it was the only Red Sox hat I had over here. And I managed to find another one somewhere else. I'm not sure where I found it. I got it in my room there, but my first one got wrecked. But yeah, I do wash my hats quite a lot over here, and yeah, I end up buying more of these hats all the time. Francisco Fletes, I'll let you guys once I can get it done with all the finishings and clean. I want to have it about 50% as clean as Sinful's. LOL. Plus, I need to put up some art on the walls and my degrees and certificates. Okay, yeah, whenever, even if it's 6 months from now, whatever. It'd be nice to do a thing on the solar panels. Francisco has solar panels in his home. He has a beautiful, beautiful home. I've seen some pictures. And I'm hoping we can do some stuff in there to show the solar panels and show all the electrical thing in there, because that'd be really, really cool. Michael Sills says, I think Steven said that he has a U.S. account. Yes, I do, and I also have a BDO account. James Holtman, washing? Yeah. Francisco Fletes, certificate. Sinful set the bar high. LOL. There we go. Let's see. USA to Philippine life. We would be buying a vehicle here for sure. I was hesitant, but we need it here. where we are in Iloilo. Does KM says, does anyone have experience selling a used car? Does it take long? You can go on like Craigslist. They have Craigslist. They have Facebook Marketplace and many other things to sell stuff over here. No problem selling things over here, and they sell quick. Michael L says, I will always prefer to clean my own house and do my own laundry over trusting a maid. Yeah, sometimes there are some issues where maids will steal, for sure, definitely. It does happen. I won't say it doesn't, because it does. James Holtman, I am going to set up Wise. Remitly is working great for us, but exchange rate is poor. Yeah, they do take some out of the exchange rate. Dave Wellworth, it's 100 degrees where we heard in the Philippines. Smell like bad warm fart. Love your channel. Thanks, man. Regular guy, hi, great Steve. Regular guy, Steve, what made think of Cavite to live? My girlfriend lived here. When I started looking it up, I was thinking about going to someplace else. And when I looked at the area and I saw where it was and how close it is to things, and when I got here, how well it worked out for me to travel around and stuff on public transportation, I loved it. And everybody else that has moved here has said the same thing, that they love it too. Michael Burns says, I use my Schwab and Wells Fargo ATM cards, 0 fees. I can only take out 1K money service. Not only do you pay a fee upon redemption, you lose pesos because you do not get street value. Waste of money. You do lose some money when you do some of these transactions and stuff. But my credit union makes it up if I take it out through the ATM here. And the rate of exchange is really, really good. Inquisitor says, hello, Steve. James Holtman says, Kevin, same. Hector Gabat says, U.S. feds require personal information, KYC, know your customer law for transaction over a certain amount, money laundering, etc. You're better off sending lower amounts than higher amounts. Regular guy says, I'm blocked on here. No. Info questioners, keep up the good work. Sinfuls is the moderator tonight, so if you write something bad, he will take you down. I didn't see anything written yet. Regular guy. Sinful says, Kevin Nash's kitchen. You wash them. KM, I've driven a scooter in the Philippines, and it seems like a hospital visit waiting to happen. Do you agree? Yes, I do. I do not have I would not ride on one. I just don't trust him. Lazy Larry Lee. Hi, regular guy. No, I see you. Regular guy. Oh, cool. Lazy, thanks. Joe Cunningham. Is there a Toyota certified dealer in Cavite? Yes, there is. I was told process is easier to pay cash. Yes. There's actually one not too far from us. I've actually been to that dealership. It's a very, very nice dealership. I think it's in Silang. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention when I went there. When I got there, I believe it's in Silang though. Michael Byrne, it's called a SARS report. More than 10,000 member. Hunter just had 150 of them. Mr. Bristol, when speaking with your U.S. bank, don't tell them you are moving to the Philippines, as some banks will close your business. State you are traveling to in the Philippines. Yes, do not tell banks you're going to live in the Philippines. In fact, you're better off joining a credit union, because credit unions work with people overseas better, especially if you use State Department Federal Credit Union. It costs $70 to join. You have to join some organization to join. It's called State Department Federal Credit Union. If you're going to come here and you want to have your money safe and they won't close your account, open it with State Department Federal Credit Union. Okay, best credit union going in the United States. Rob Gonzalez, what do you need to open an account at the bank of BDO? Well, you need your passport. If you're here on a tourist visa, you need your ACR card. Each bank is different usually, but you at least, they asked me for my SRV retirement visa, and maybe some other type of ID, which I had all the IDs, so they opened it up right away for me, no problem. Sinful says here they have Carousel, PH Motors, something like that. Philip Jones says, remember this, some hotels offer a 10 to 20% discount if you pay cash for your hotel bill. Yeah, some do, but most don't. At least not the ones I know of. Dusty Dave, how many vets, especially Navy salts from the days when Navy was there, have you run into over there, and give me your guesstimation of what percentage of vets versus civilian expats. Wow, probably about 90% of our people are vets, I would say. Very few are not. I would say maybe it's even 95%. I'd say 90%. I'd put 90%. In our group, it's about, I think it's about 90%. 85, 90% in our group. Sinful says, regular guy, no, you're not. Francisco Fletes, Wells Fargo has many issues, but they do have to deal with BPI and BDO called Express Send, which is a good alternative to the traditional remittance services since it's a bank-to-bank directly. It takes minutes. Let's see, we got 119 people, 120 people, 85 thumbs up, 84 thumbs up. Robert Donvito, hey Steve, you're all right for a Sox fan. I'm going to the Bronx, so you know I'm a Yankees fan. LOL. Okay. Hector says, is the price the same if you book hotels from overseas versus in the country? It really depends on the people you book through. I mean, sometimes you can get better deals through booking online sometimes, you know, and sometimes you get better deals over here. It really depends. It's the hotel itself. Sometimes you can make some deals with hotels over here if you're here and if you see the place is empty, say, look, your place is empty. You want a person to stay here for a week? I'll stay here for a week, but this is the price I want, and they'll negotiate with you. Michael Byrne, if you move to the PH, make sure you notify your bank. This way your ATM card will still work. The best thing to do is keep a U.S. address with a relative or buddy, then notify them you're in the PH. Graham says, want to get a house soon. Can't, my thing keeps popping up on me, so it drives me nuts. Let's see. Want to get a house soon. Can't find any transfer fees less than 2% from Australia. 150,000 to transfer costs 3,000. Do you know a cheaper way? Wow, you're transferring large sums of money. I mean, I would talk to your bank and see if you can do a bank transfer directly over here. That's a lot of money. Mr. Brister, my fiance says Hindi on the maid consideration. I trust you. You wouldn't. I trust you, but wouldn't trust her. Francisco Fletes says, I see a lot of those Navy guys in Subic Bay where only Navy base used to be. There's a lot of Navy guys here. When I was in the military, I wasn't in the Philippines. I came here after. Sinful says, Graham, I did a bank-to-bank wire transfer. Very high amount. It cost me $25. That's not bad. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Shout out to Mark San Juan La Union vlog. He moved down the road to Bognaton La Union, but he and his girlfriend have been doing very well. Lloyd White says, hello, Steve. Currently in Sri Lanka. Hope to be in the Philippines next month or two. Take care, my friend. Take care, man. Sinful says, USAA has no issues with that. They are very well aware I live here. They are fine with that. USAA is actually an excellent company, too. Michael Byrne, I can get 100,000 pesos every day, 0 fees. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, was your bank Navy Fed or USAA? Sinfuls? Sinful says, USAA to BDO was a transfer, no issues at all. Michael Byrne, Schwab and Wells Fargo, no fees. Yeah, Schwab is pretty good. Some people don't like him, but I think Schwab is pretty good. I actually have a Ameritrade, which is the same thing as Schwab, by the way. John Fetchko says, want a red flag? Have a Filipina send you money in the U.S. Yeah, there you go. Michael Burns, so no such thing as a red flag. Sorry, dude. I think there are red flags. They definitely do red flag your account for different things. Rob Gonzalez, Army National Guard here from the Bronx. Philip Zahn, message deleted by Sinfuls. Francisco Fletes, vets get that pension early. That's why many go here at a younger age. Philip Jones, Yankees got spanked yesterday. They deserve a good spanking. They're Yankees. Let's see. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, I think you had Mark on one day. I've never had him on my show. I don't think so. Michael Byrne, I average removing $50,000 per month from my U.S. accounts here and pay nothing. I'm about $4,000 a month myself. Francisco Fletes, Marcos has impressed me No, I don't think he's doing martial law. I think I've been pleased with his presidency so far. Western friendly politics. Yes, yeah. I was kind of shocked at the way he's kind of gone. So that's a good thing actually. Michael Burns says I've been doing that for 7 years. Element says Philip at martial law. I don't think we'll see martial law. Dusty Dave, are you a member of the DAV? Yes, I'm a lifetime member. In our VFW Philippines. Steve, I'm not a member of the VFW, no, but I'm a DAV member back home, and a lifetime member. I actually have it in my wallet somewhere. Cam, I've been told that if you're in a car accident and you're a foreigner, it's automatically your fault. Some people say that. A dashboard camera is a good idea. Yes. James Holtman, KM, yes. Van Turner, camera, yes. James Franklin, Francisco, how could you tell that they were Navy? Were the mops a giveaway? Ha ha ha. I like that. That's pretty good. Michael L says yes. Dash cams for the win, even in the States. Yes. Michael Byrne, yes. That's your only shot, front and rear. PR, if it's just a tap, get out and give everyone 1,000 pesos before the cops show up. Easy to buy your way out. Sinful says KM, I have a 360 camera system in both vehicles. At least have a video record. Yeah, I can tell I'm getting tired here. We're coming up on 90 minutes anyway. Sinful says KM, I have a 360 camera systems in both vehicles. At least have record. Let me see here. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Those Philippine colors in or on the homes, they're starting to grow on me. You know, I actually like the blue here. I didn't like the green before, but it kind of grew on me for a while. You know, and I actually thought it was kind of cool. It was a little bit different, kind of modern. Lazy Larry Lee says you can tell that they are Navy if someone yells turn two and they start working. There we go. Van Turner Hong, that is 6 years. Off the beaten passes. Good morning from California. Welcome, California. Francisco Fletes says they are asking about my rating, not my MOS. Dead giveaway for Navy dudes. Yes. Yes, definitely. Because we say rating. You guys say MOS. The Navy always says rating. So when I first started hearing the MOS stuff, I was like, what the heck is an MOS? You know? I mean, I'd heard it before, but I was like, what's up with that? Why are they calling it MOS? Mitch Fixit says, hi all, great live. Hope to be in the Philippines soon, getting all those loose ends taken care of first. That's good, Mitch. It's from New York City. See, Sinful's Air Force is AFSC. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I think that the Coast Guard is still rating too, I believe. I'm not sure though. I would believe that they would probably use the same as the Navy. Sinful says, I have had a MOS rating and a AFSC. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, yes, colors are starting to look more modern. MOS is a job title. Yes, no, I know that. We always use the term rating in the Navy. Jeeves Winston says, 13 Bravo. Whoosha. Graham from Australia is no free transfer of banks. Cheapest I can find here is 2% bank to bank. Off the beaten path, MOS, military occupation specialty. Francisco Fletes, Marines. I actually did a video about that, talking about that. We also did a couple of videos. If you go way back, we were also talking about all the people that were in special forces and stuff like that, Navy SEALs and all that. We've talked about that several times. Because I actually have run into several people that have stated that they're Navy SEALs, and after you get to know them, it's blatantly obvious that they were never in the Navy SEALs. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says Marines is Department of the Navy, the men's department. There we go. Steve Thomas, hello Steve. I found your channel yesterday and I'm considering retiring to Cavite area. Enjoy your content, especially subjects of logistics of life in the area. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Cavite area is definitely a great area, I think, for a lot of people. Anywhere around Manila, outside of Manila, is a good place, pretty much. I'll state that. Northeast, south, whatever. It's just all around those areas, just outside of Manila is usually pretty decent. Usually like 20, 25 miles away, and you'll do pretty good. Or maybe even a little bit further, but at least you're close to Manila. Uh, Anyone know what they did with the elephant cage at Clark after they closed the base? I don't know. Lazy Larry Lee, USMC, Uncle Sam's misbegotten children. There we go. Off the Beaten Path says, I have a video about living in the, I don't know, it says WA. It cuts it off at the end. James Franklin, Marines need Uber to get them there. There we go. No, Lyft. Mr. Bristol, waiting to fly to PI until March. I haven't hit the startup and emergency fund goals yet. You'll get there, man. You will. Jeeves Winston says, you video on sarcasm was really good coming from North Shore. We are wicked sarcastic. Yeah, we are. Would have to dial it back. I used to be sarcastic, and then I started realizing how many people I hurt. You know, like when you say stuff. I think it's just, I never really got into like ball busting that much. You know, it's not a good thing to do, I don't think, to people. You know, I mean, when you're around certain people, yeah, you can do it and get away with it. And we do it here sometimes with some of the guys, and we have fun, but we don't make a habit of it here. And I think that's what, when you have a person that gets into the habit of ball busting, then it's a whole different ball game. You know, we're up on 90 minutes, guy. Actually over 90 minutes, and I'm gonna call it a night because I'm kind of tired here. But God bless, guys. We will probably be on next weekend unless something comes up or something. I'm planning on doing it next weekend, but if I'm not on here, let's just plan it in 2 weeks or whatever. But I will try to be on here next week, God willing. Last week we had a problem with YouTube. YouTube actually, what they did was they took down my monetization for some reason, but it ended up being like a fluke that they were working on their system or something, and that's what happened. So that was why I was off last week, because I was trying to find out why is my monetization gone. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care, and we will see you guys soon. Okay, guys? Let me see if I can end this now, if it lets me. Okay. God bless, guys. Take care.